Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Racha Kudash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the elect. And today we're going to go into the book of Job, the 13th chapter. Lo, and this is Job continuing to speak as he began to respond to one of his friends. Lo, mine eye hath seen all this, mine ear hath heard and understood it. What ye know, the same do I know also. So as he listed all the things, the majesties of the Lord and all of that, he said, I've seen this, I know this, I've heard this, I understand it. Right? The same things you're telling me that you know, I know that too. I am not inferior unto you. Verse 3, surely I would speak to the Almighty, and I desire to reason with God. So I'm not bringing my case to you. I want to speak to the Lord. I want to put my case there. I want to know why I'm going through this. But ye are forgers of lies. Ye are all physicians of no value. So here, right, he's likening his friends onto being forgers of lies, right, of accusing him of deserving more, okay, than what he's going through, of having some hidden guilt that he's not trying to acknowledge. As he says, you're like physicians of no value. You are called here to comfort me, and you're doing the opposite. Okay, now we also use this precept to to apply, right, to Esau, Edom, okay, in which, like I sort of described the trait, or at least what they did. This is similar to what Esau does as well, right? In his own ways, he is an example of forgers of lies, because that's what they do, and physicians of no value. Okay, so just the contextual, right, and also how we can apply it. Verse 5. Oh, that ye would altogether hold your peace. If only you would all just stop talking. And it should be your wisdom. That would show more wisdom. That would be your wisdom if you just stopped, if you stopped talking, trying to show me something like I don't already know it. Hear now my reasoning, and hearken to the pleadings of my lips. Will ye speak wickedly for God, and talk deceitfully for him? So are you going to, and now he's saying, like, are you basically going to be a respecter of persons for the Most High? Are you going to speak, non-factual things on the behalf of God, and talk deceitfully for him? Right, it says, will ye accept his person? That is, once again, say in a matter of judgment, being a respect of persons. Will ye contend for God? So are you going to pervert justice for God? Are you going to, speak on his behalf? Are you going to judge the case for him? All right, NKJV, will you show partiality to him? Will you contend for him? NLT, will you slant your testimony in his favor? Will you argue God's case for him? Is it good that he should search you out? Or as one man mocketh another, do ye so mock him? So you're doing all this, as it says, will it be well when he searches you out? So if the Most High was to do a search, will you stand in the balance? Would you be justified? Or can you mock him as one mocks a man? NLT, right? Can you fool him as easily as you fool people? See, you're dealing with a power here. You're dealing with the Most High, the ultimate judge. He will surely reprove you if ye do secretly accept persons. So even if you think that you're, doing this in your mind, you think, oh, it's Job is speaking against the Most High, or he's saying this, that, and the third, so whatever we're saying would be more on the right part. He's saying, no, the Most High would reprove you based on what you're saying. All right, if you secretly accept persons, if you pervert justice to be a respect of persons, to show partiality. Shall not his excellency make you afraid, and his dread fall upon you? Your remembrances are like unto ashes, your bodies to bodies of clay. So who are you? You man just like me. Your remembrance which goes into your memorial is like unto ashes, is as worthless as ashes, and your bodies are as frail or fragile as clay. Hold your peace, let me alone, that I may speak. and let come on me what will. So you know what? Let me say what I gotta say, and whatever happens to me happens. Wherefore do I take my flesh in my teeth, and put my life in mine hand? And taking your flesh in your teeth is like today when they say put your money where your mouth is, except here he's saying put your life where your mouth is. All right. And take your life into your own hands, because Job is basically acknowledging that in speaking out, that's a dangerous game, right? Because you're not speaking against man, right? You're not trying to plead a case before man. The Most High could up and say, all right, now after plaguing you all this much, I'm sending you back to the spirit world. But he says here, right, though he slay me, yet will I trust in him, but I will maintain mine own ways before him. Right? So basically, I know that the Lord can can destroy me, but even if he decided to slay me, I'm still gonna keep my trust in him, right? He's still my only hope. I'm still gonna, look to him to justify me, but I'm also gonna maintain my ways before him, right? I'm standing firm to this stance of mine integrity. He also shall be my salvation for an hypocrite, right? Because he's the only one that can ultimately justify me. For an hypocrite shall not come before him. Right. And Job is saying here, I'm going before the Lord because I know he can justify me, because an hypocrite will not be able to come in the audience of the Lord. But I'm not a hypocrite. I know if my case is at least heard, I'll be justified. Hear diligently my speech and my declaration with your ears. Behold, now I have ordered my cause. Right. So I've arranged my case. I've set my case. I know that I shall be justified. Right. If my case is heard, I'll be justified. You'll see that I haven't done anything secretly, to bring this upon me. Who is he that will plead with me? For now, if I hold my tongue, I shall give up the ghost. All right. So who's gonna, as it says, contend, right? Who's gonna NLT? Who can argue with me over this? If you prove me wrong, I will remain silent and die. Or as it says in the KJV, if he holds his tongue, that means if he just forbears and lets it go, he's going to perish. He just can't. Only do not two things unto me, then will I not hide myself from thee. So he's basically saying, if you grant me these two things, then I'm gonna be able to openly, speak before you. I'm not gonna hide myself. I'm not gonna, be afraid, right? And NLT, it says, oh God, grant me these two things, and then I will be able to face you. Withdraw thine hand, thine hand far from me, and let not thy dread make me afraid. And here, what he is saying, it's like if you have a scenario where somebody has a gun to your head and it's loaded, and maybe they just shot your friend right in front of you, and the blood splattered on your face, and they got the gun to your head, and they're threatening you, they're probably kicking you, punching you in the face, and you're very afraid, but you're saying, look, they're saying you're going through this, right? And people are looking at it like, yo, if this guy is a loan shark, did you steal money from him? Like, did you do anything? You're like, no, I don't even know how this happened. I didn't do anything. And you're like, look, if you just move the gun from off my head and stop kicking me in the teeth, I'll be able to tell you, I'll be able to show you that I didn't do whatever it is that you got the gun to my head for. So when he says, withdraw thine hand far from me, it's not like your protection, but more so because your hand, remember, Satan asked the Lord, right? Put forth now thine hand and touch his bone, right? So what he's saying is, your hand is upon me for calamity, for judgment. If you just move that, right, and you pull back that fear that you've put upon me, that dread, the anguish, then verse 22, call thou and I will answer, or let me speak and thou answer me. Then, ask me whatever, say it, whatever it is, and I'll be able to answer you. Because, without the fear that you about to smoke me again, or let me say what I have to say, and let's converse. How many are mine iniquities and sins? Make me to know my transgression and my sins. So show me the proof. What have I done? What are my sins? How many are they that you're doing this to me? Wherefore hidest thou thy face, and holdest me for thine enemy? So why are you plaguing me? You've hidden your face from me, and you're treating me like an enemy, but my whole life has been one that is to fear and honor and do your will. So he's like, is this supposed to be the reward for serving you, or for doing my best to live a wholesome life after your ways? Wilt thou break a leaf driven to and fro, and wilt thou pursue the dry stubble? Like, and that's like saying, like, a leaf is so insignificant. You're not gonna chase after a leaf that's being blown in the wind, with such vehemency to go and break it up, right? Or to go and chase dry stubble that's being blown away by the wind somewhere. For thou writest bitter things against me, and makest me to possess the iniquities of my youth. As it says in NLT, you write bitter accusations against me, and bring up all the sins of my youth. Thou puttest my feet also in the stocks, and the stocks are like this. See, stocks, punishment. Yeah, so it's like this, right? You can have different ways, but it's like that wooden board with the cutouts for like your neck or your feet, and it's done in a way where it looks like it's not that bad, but it is, because they keep you there for a long time, and that's the punishment. If you are standing, right, like this guy, and you're like, you're standing, but your head is and your arms are put in a certain position, they tire out. Right. And you know how when you sit for a long time, you got to get up and stretch. You can't do that with the stocks. Okay, so your legs go numb, and then eventually your body starts to hurt. Okay, over time, after a long period of time. Like, your body's not meant to just be completely still. That's just not how it is. That's why even when you sleep, you move. Okay, so he's saying here, and that's a punishment being put in the stocks. So he's saying, thou puttest my feet also in the stocks, and lookest narrowly onto all my paths. So you're attentively looking at every single thing I do. Thou settlest a print upon the heels of my foot. You've marked my feet. Okay, so you're punishing me. You're constantly watching everything I do. You got your eyes dead set on me, like I'm your target. And he, as a rotten thing, consumeth as a garment that is moth eaten. And I think here he's referring to just like speaking as a mortal man in general. All right. Which will also apply to himself. So he's saying, like, you're doing all this for man that decays, right? NKJV, for man that decays like a rotten thing, like a garment that is moth eaten. I'm not, like, man is not on any level to require this much, attention from you, especially in this negative form. NLT, I waste away like rotting wood, like a moth-eaten coat. And that brings us to the end of the book of Job, the 13th chapter. Lord willing, that was edifying to the elect. In closing, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Racha Kodash. And until next time, Shalom.